This is a box of Pokemon cards that's worth $400,000, and today we're cracking it open. What up, Heart Squad? To this very, very big video. I have a special guest, by the way. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Beamer at Collector's Cash. For those of you that have never heard of me or met me, I've been working at Collector's Cash for almost 30 years and been selling Pokemon cards ever since they came back out in 1999.
Man, so you've been doing this for a while.
Yeah, very long time.
Awesome. Well, it's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you for having us.
I did get this box from him, but what we are going to be doing today is something I've never personally done myself, but we're going to be cracking the seal of this to verify that the box is legit and everything's good to go, because there's going to be some big plans for this box on this channel. So you actually flew all the way out here, right?
Yeah, we actually, because of the situation, we didn't want to risk, getting stopped at a commercial airliner,
Yeah.
right, going through security because it's got magnets on the outer case and stuff.
Yeah.
We're like, they might pull us aside and ask to open the box.
Right.
So we had to, charter a private plane just to ensure that the box didn't get messed with,
Yeah, no, I completely understand that. I've heard bad stories of people in customs and stuff with other types of sealed boxes. But just so people can take a closer look, ladies and gentlemen, this is the cream of the crop, a first edition English booster box of cards, the box that started it all. And yes, it's in a little acrylic seal right now with tamper-proof seals, and we will be getting into this. But I did want to take just a couple moments to talk about kind of the history not only of this box, but then if we can go into what are the signs to tell between a resealed box and a legit box. So we can first start with kind of like the history of the box and first edition boxes in general.
Okay, so we'll start with this particular box. This one originated out of St. Louis.
Okay.
And I would consider it, even though it's not a one owner box per se, it nearly is a one owner box because the guy that bought it has owned it basically for almost the duration of its entire life.
Uh-huh.
And he bought it, this box came out of St. Louis, and he
Okay.
bought it from a local card store that was in St. Louis that at the time would do auctions. I don't know if it was like a monthly auction or whatever. And some of these high ticket items, even back then, they wouldn't sell super fast in their retail store, so they would auction them off. And I remember him telling us the story when he brought it in to sell it.
Yeah.
And he said, I was the high bidder. And I think he said, I paid $1,100 for the box, right?
$1,100.
And he said, obviously, like, I think his wife was upset, or like, what are you doing? You have an obsession. You spent $1,100 on a box of what? It's like cartoon cards. Like, what
Shiny
are these
cardboard,
things?
yeah.
Yeah, and so anyway, he did that, and when he went to pick the box up, the store told him he had to pay sales tax. And he was a little bit frustrated because it was like another 60 or 70 bucks. He's already getting needled by the family,
Yeah.
So he bought it, like a dog wagged his tail, walked off, and then kind of what he said was he saw that they had gone up a little bit, and then they kind of peaked.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know if he said maybe they went down a little bit, and then he just put in like a safety deposit box, and it just sat there all these years.
Yeah.
And the boxes obviously have appreciated to such a price to where you can literally buy a house or a Lamborghini now with one of these boxes, an exotic car that people are starting to finally cash in on. So
Cool.
that particular box,
And you have something over here?
So we decided, we've kind of become over the course of time, somewhat of a big reference point, and not just from the community, the Pokemon community, collectors, YouTubers, but even grading companies, have asked us for our opinions and our expertise on the subject. And because we've handled Pokemon cards since they were $3 a pack, we've got that experience. It's kind of funny, when you see like a doctor, a doctor's gone to school for 10 years and then they've practiced it for 20, 30, 40 years, and that's what makes them so good at their trade. Well, we've become a doctor of Pokemon cards, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
So we decided, well, these boxes are so rare, we don't get them that often.
Yeah.
So why not certify them? Why not say that they're legitimate, that we guarantee them with a money back guarantee, tell the story.
Yeah.
So we make that kind of as part of the deal. If we can get the previous owner to tell us the story and the history, they have a right little deal. And then we call it Collector's Cash Certified. So what that's saying is you got our professional opinion that we believe that this box, with all the attributes, the weight, the shrink wrap, just the colors, everything, is legitimate and hasn't been resealed. And so we've decided to put this on a certificate of authenticity and laminate and all that stuff. And so
I think that's awesome.
That comes with every purchase of a base set first edition.
With every purchase.
Yeah.
So I think that was something really cool, and I wanted to be sure we shared that. And so basically, what's going to happen with this specific box is, and why we're doing this is to, or I guess what we're going to do, and we'll showcase these.
Yep.
We're going to go through the top 3 parts of the box, just the seals with an X-Acto knife. We're going to weigh the packs to verify that there actually is, hopefully, like holographics and stuff. And then all on this same video, we have actually these really cool Collector's Cash tamper-proof seals that we're gonna put right here, one right here, and one right here, and then put it back in a case, and we're not touching it until, you know, big announcement to come. So I think that's basically it as far as before we get into, one, I need to get my scale real quick, but
yes.
2, if you can kind of just let me know and kind of let the world know,
sure.
What are some tales between a real box and a fake box?
Okay, so there's different variables, and it depends on which fake box you're talking about, because we've seen lots of different ones, and some of the fake boxes we've seen are just horrific. They're just terrible. And what I look for, number one, is it's color consistency, right? So if you look at, if you've handled enough, and I know you have as well, and a lot of the bigger YouTubers have done the same, you guys have seen enough of these, whether they're empty boxes or not. Charizard's green wings have that same, like, almost, you know, dark forest green color, right? So you might see a fake box where it's like more of a Kelly green, like a brighter green.
Right.
They never made a box like that. So there's been some fake boxes that it would only take a true amateur to really notice that it, you know, that would think that it was real, right?
Yeah.
That wouldn't notice the difference. So we look for color. The color has to really match the same almost boldness, clarity. Like if you get a nice jeweler's loop out and you start looking, you can kind of see, you know, they used a pretty nice printer, Pokemon Wizards did, when they made these boxes. So color's a big one.
Okay.
Then obviously you go into the shrink wrap.
Okay.
One of the biggest mistakes, and we see this all the time, half the time we'll make a post on social media and we'll have a real box that's sealed and they'll say, oh, it's been resealed, or oh, it's fake for sure.
Right.
Why do they say that?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't have Wizards shrink wrap.
Right.
Well, what most people don't know is the base set first edition only had clear shrink wrap. That is normal. If it's the other way around, it's actually resealed. I don't think anybody's been that dumb, but I guess anything's possible. So looking not only at the fact that it's got clear shrink wrap, but you have to also look into the detail of how it was shrunk wrap. So the way you're showing it on the camera, if you can see kind of the design here, it's very difficult to duplicate. And if you go to the back, and I know the business card's kind of blocking it, but there's a very distinct shrink wrap, the way they do most of the Wizards. So the base, the jungle, the fossil, the rocket, the gym heroes, this is a very consistent pattern. And a good shrink wrapper could probably imitate that very well.
Yeah.
But when you've seen enough of the boxes and kind of how they come together, that's a big deal. Then if you flip it to the top, this has a lot of indicators right here. The top and the bottom does.
Yeah.
Number one, with the way the boxes were when they were originally sealed, if you look on the edges in the light, the shrink wrap has, it almost looks like a metric ruler, like where they put the little tick marks of like the millimeter marks and things like that, right? You see how you see that?
Yeah, you can see it right there.
So that's a consistency, and most base set first edition boxes we've seen has a very tight shrink wrap. So unlike the Sun and Moon series and the Sword and Shield, where you can like literally hold the boxes, they've been so bad about making loose shrink wrap. These boxes were shrunk wrapped very tight, and so because of that, you see kind of this waviness going. I mean, I call it like the ruler going along the edges. We've seen boxes that were faked where the guy shrink wrapped it and it didn't have that, right? So that was automatically a red flag. The fake that we saw, that I don't want to say the dealer's name, that got took for a lot of money. I think it was, if it wasn't last year, it was the year before. I think it was $60,000 or $70,000 at the time is what they paid for it. Was, if you notice on the arc here on the box, that's the spot where you punch it out. So if you're a retail store, you punch it out so the customers can see the packs inside. There's 5 pips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can call it like perforated, dots or whatever you want to call it, right? And so there was a fake box. There was actually 2 of them that didn't have the 5 pips. And so for me, that was like an immediate siren, right? I looked at it and I was like, that box got to be fake. And then I flipped it over to the bottom. And The fake box, if you don't mind, turn it this way so we can see the top. So you can tell the consistency, made in the USA on the bottom. That letter M is usually tucked underneath here. Okay, and then the boldness of the barcode and all this information is a very solid, like jet black.
Yeah.
It's not like a grayed out, low resolution printer, right? And you've got the indentations here on the diagonal, here and here. And then you've got this middle where the box comes together. Most of the fake boxes that we've seen don't stay consistent to that. Like they don't go to that level of detail, or they just weren't able to duplicate it. So then kind of the final thing we do is we weigh the entire box. And when we weigh packs and boxes at Collector's Cash, we never search packs for our benefit. It's only so that we can guarantee our customers when we're going to resell the packs that they're, going to get the same ratio, right? If a guy brings us 100 jungle packs and says, oh, they're not searched. Well, how do we know? We either have to open like 30 of them, right? Or we have to like make sure that there's about a 2-to-1 ratio on the light to heavies, right? And so, so basically that's one of the key indicators is weight on the boxes. There's an ideal weight on Wizards boxes. It does fluctuate. It could be a little lighter, a little heavier. But if a guy was to reseal a box and stick different cards in it, there's probably a good chance that the weight of the box is going to be significantly different. So those are kind of the
No, I appreciate that. Hopefully that was informational for people. So without further ado, we're going to at least get through this first part, have the X-Acto knife.
Holy cow, are we really going to cut this box open?
I can't believe it, but we'll at least get through this first part right here. So if I can just go
These boxes are like polar bears. They're endangered species.
That side.
Oh boy, this hurts. Are you sure you want to do this?
Yeah. I'm at least getting through this first part though, so if I can't get this, there's that side, and then last but not least, I believe the top. And that, whoa, oh my gosh, that came off!
The razor, the X-Acto knife has
faulted us, of course.
So the box wins? Is that a win for the box?
I guess that's a sign telling us not to, no.
All
right. So let's
cut all 4. All right, magnets are off.
The magnets are off, and keeping this, there is this for verification purposes.
Bought on December 10th.
December 10th, and there it is. So there's the card. We'll put that over there. Now, this should slide right out. Okay.
So if you don't mind, while we have it out, there's one thing that I couldn't show you. Was you were asking about whether or not, we can tell a fake box or a real box. And you probably can hold it, but if you press down on the top flap, and you look in the light, you should be able to see kind of a long crimping on the packs on the top.
You can barely see.
It's hard to see. I mean, some people get like their iPhone and they shine the flashlight or whatnot, but you're looking for long crimp packs. And a good resealer is going to buy a couple long crimp packs, put them on the top.
Put them on the top. They usually tape it or something so they don't move around if you shake the box, which I don't suggest. Even though I'm shaking it very lightly, but we're going to be opening this up anyway. So very good points that you bring up there.
And when you were on, I watched that YouTube video you're on where that one box had been resealed. And I was super impressed with you. I want to say this. You noticed something. You hesitated when the box got passed to you. And for any of you that haven't seen the video, watch it. Leonhart caught it. Like, he is the true expert. He stopped, and all I was saying when I was watching this video is, don't pass the box. Keep scrutinizing it. You've got it.
Right.
And it turned out to be resealed.
And it turned out to be resealed, which was the original plan anyway while I was there, was to open up the box, because that's the only way, something like this magnitude. So basically, I think without further ado,
holy cow, are you ready?
As much as I don't want to do this, I have some fun plans that's going to be for this box. And honestly, we're both really, really passionate about Pokemon and Pokemon cards. And so I really do hope y'all at home kind of also cherish this moment as well. But I guess let's get into it. So like I said, I'll record it. I'm going to try to do this, as fast as I want to go, but I want to go slow just so I don't ruin anything on the inside. But there it is, ladies and gentlemen. The seal has been breached on that side. This one's a little bit difficult for the front side, and this side too.
You got to go on the side.
All right.
Watch the depth. We don't want to slice a pack.
Definitely would not want that. Oh man.
You could just autograph the top pack and then no, you got to go to the top. I think it's.
Is it down?
Yeah,
like
I think
that
it's
way?
down. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
See, I've not done this before, so. All right, and then I don't want to ruin the box. There we go. Gently doing this. Should be still on camera. Hopefully, I'm not cutting the box or anything too much. And
That's right. They're just
all right.
$3 packs.
All right, $3 packs. I think that should be it. Let's find out if. Yeah.
The moment of truth.
The moment of truth. Okay, so far, I do want to point out one thing before we continue. What I do notice is usually the pack on the left is a little bit lower than the pack on the right from my experience of boxes and stuff. So that's a good sign. Also, should we just go ahead and...
Yep. Make sure, get it over with.
There's one pack right there. I mean, that looks good. Second pack. I need to keep these all on screen as much as I can. That looks good. That looks good. We'll go through each of the individual packs and stuff.
The backs, there you go.
Yeah, there's the backs.
The real deal, Holyfield as they like to call it.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, these all look completely... Trying to be careful, but...
So now our odds have improved. So you realize we passed all the attributes on the sealed box, right?
Yeah.
So now what's beautiful is once you're able to weigh the packs and verify that there's the rough estimate of heavies to lights.
Can I ask you, sorry to interrupt, to just start weighing some of them?
Sure.
And that doesn't be on screen necessarily.
You want to keep the packs on screen?
But I want to keep the packs on screen. So I guess, yeah, we can put that kind of there.
Okay.
Two, I'm sorry, you're going to have to move.
I'm here to help.
So, yeah. So if that kind of works, just kind of, is that good? Yeah, like that. I can even like
tell. You have
tell.
it teared out?
Yeah, it should be.
0.
21.26.
And a Charizard pack.
And it's a Charizard
So that's
pack.
a huge like premium on that thing.
Yeah. All right, we'll keep that. So the pack's there. And if you want to kind of start getting some more.
So I'm gonna. So you have here's a 20.68.
Okay, and to usually 21 grams and above is a heavy pack. Sometimes we've pulled Charizards out of 20.98.
20.5. 20.98.
There it is! Charizard pack now.
With a Venusaur artwork.
With a Venusaur artwork. Usually Charizards and Blastoise.
20.6.
20.6.
You probably want me to go a little faster, I imagine.
That's okay.
20.6.
It's in a good pace.
Just because of the delicateness of these packs to
Yeah.
whoever's going to buy them, I'm trying to be careful. Right? And that's one thing, we want to assure you, Lee, if you ever need help, if you're buying a sealed box, we'd be happy to help you. At least give you our opinion. This needs to be zeroed out. There we go.
Should be good. Is it? Oh no, it's not. There we go.
There we go. Back to normal.
All right. Just want to get down to the very bottom. And so, what are some of these weights coming up at?
So the ones on the left are going to be, most of them are like 20.6 something. The ones on the right are going to be basically about 21 roughly.
Okay, cool.
So you want to show the inside of the box? That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So most people don't know, but like a fake box, they never got down to that stamp number right there.
Oh, really?
You see that stamp? Yeah. I mean, it doesn't. How much was that one?
24/7.
Okay.
2071.
Well, so far you've got, I think, 3.
Is that 1930?
Did I say 19?
1930 is what that pack.
Oh my gosh.
1930.
It might be missing a card. We have had packs that had extra cards, so I'd imagine there's some that have less.
And then that one's like
20.5.
completely fine.
Yep.
I mean, I've seen packs before be like really, really like heavy. And that, I think you were kind of saying that before.
Yep. 20.7.
And so how many...
There, 21.
I'll put that in the...
Yep.
How many holographics approximately come per box?
There should be 12. Now,
12?
yeah, sometimes you get lucky and you get 13, and there have been boxes that we've seen, like especially with the Unlimited, had some inconsistency with 11, 12, and 13. But if I remember correctly, we would even have some boxes that got completely duped on hollows. I feel like there were boxes that maybe had like 9 hollows. But the thing that a lot of people don't understand about base set in particular is that Wizards of the Coast was figuring it out back then. And they didn't know exactly what they wanted, all their cards to look like, which is why you saw like first edition had, first edition, and then you had Shadowless, and then you had Unlimited. And then there's so many different wrappers, long packs, short packs, long crimp, short crimp, right? Unlimited, Shadowless, first edition. There's so many variations of the packs And a lot of people, they'll just look and they'll see the color and they'll say, oh, this one doesn't have the right color, so it's automatically fake.
Right.
The sad part, the truth of the matter is there's a lot of packs that are real that just have a really crappy like color to them. It's kind of hard to explain. You'd have to see them side by side. There was a guy on YouTube that did one of the worst videos I've ever seen about trying to explain how to tell if base set packs were real or not. Yeah. It is one of the worst videos. And every time we tried to comment, he would like delete our video or delete our comment. And then finally he kind of gave up, you know, so to speak, and then let us leave the comment. But we were basically in a nice way trying to say, hey, look, you have no idea what you're talking about. You can't sit here and say that this is fake or this is real as a result.
So I guess that's it, unless we 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Is there 10?
Yeah, 10 there. Obviously we could.
I count 9.
Oh, is there 9?
I count 9.
Okay. So should we go through them one more time?
Sure, why not?
Or at least those packs?
Yeah, why not? The scale was kind of being, you know, we had to tear it a couple times.
Yeah. But just want to make sure. 20.74.
So
like, would you think some of those
could
potentially
you got to think that like every hollow in particular doesn't necessarily have the same amount of foiling, right? So
20.74. Like I'll put those in like the maybe piles, I guess. But I mean, from all like that's 20.69, so I don't really know. From all accounts, I mean, these look and feel from my experience like everything looks legit.
Yep.
There's that 1930
Yeah, you got to like keep
pack.
that one off to the side. That has to be missing. It probably has 10 cards. It's
I'm
gotta
very
be
hopefully it has the holographic on it instead. I mean, or whatever. 20.72 potentially.
Yep.
This is just so interesting, and I really do hope that this video, as exciting as it is to be opening this up, hopefully it's a little bit educational. So by 20.64, the other one was 20.66. Just so we can, there's a little bug flying around. 20.69. I'm just putting those in the maybe pile. 20.73. That's a pretty big one. What do we got here? 20.67. I'll put that over there. I mean, there's a lot. What are your thoughts so far on, like, does everything seem peachy even though some of these packs aren't going all the way over?
Yeah, everything looks good. I mean, the you know, back in those days, the packs when they were $3 and $4, people just shredded through them. Yeah. So nobody really knew the weights and whatnot.
So I think that's good.
It's a great sign.
I think everything's a great sign.
The only thing we can do is, can we just start opening them right now?
Not yet.
Oh.
Right. So what I'm gonna do. So do you have any advice for just put it in? Cause
yeah, I don't think it matters. Well, I wouldn't put all the. My advice would be not to put all the heavies like that. And, because if you're gonna sell, I would probably kind of mix
I'm gonna mix them up even later on.
Sure.
Like what's gonna be happening later? Just stay tuned to the channel, everybody. But I am going to just they'll be randomized when what's to come is gonna come. So this is just myself, just for showcasing purposes. The packs are now being put back in the box, and hopefully, as awkward as I've been peering over like this, hopefully it has been all on camera for everybody. And once again, thank you so much for all your input and everything.
You're welcome.
This has been such a treat, and it's been crazy myself opening these packs.
You've kind of become the guy. You know that? Like everybody, every time they turn on YouTube, you just got like 2 or 3 base set first edition packs in your hand that you're just gonna crack. You kind of become this guy,
All right, so now we're gonna take those
Tamper seals.
All right, and I'm gonna just go like this. And now, just so everybody can let's go ahead and just put them on right now. So the first one.
You want to do the honors?
Yes, I shall do the honors. So just so everybody can see, and what happens to these if they are like taken off? Do they? Ooh, that's a terrible job. I need to make sure this is like really tight on this side. So they just like a little like or like what I'm asking. Sorry, just like a little. If you tear these off, what happens basically?
There's micro layers in there, and there's
hopefully
the word void and all kinds of. Don't want to obviously spoil the whole thing, but bottom line is if they get torn, if the plastic gets torn, then obviously somebody busted into it as well. So that's the third one.
I may do another one just to make sure there's no way to get in this.
You mind if I take a picture? I want to check this guy out here.
Yeah. But can we get some more tamper-proof seals?
Yes.
Yeah, just because we are also running out of time.
Uh-oh.
The clock set too.
Okay. I think we could talk for forever about.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't want to cover up that stamp, but I do want to just. Oh, that looks ugly doing it that way. But I need to make sure there's like.
Just you could put like one here, like in this corner, if you wanted to, and then maybe.
Like one needs to kind of like go like right here.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
I mean, they can see its first edition, I think.
Yeah. And then you can still. I'm gonna have to cover that one up. Yeah.
That's all right.
This is the world's worst job of taping.
That's all right. It's your first time.
But I want to make sure that it's completely.
The next time you spend a few $100,000 on a box of cards,
yeah,
the whole world hopes should be better at putting tamper seals on your box. Right? Yeah. Just.
All right. Can I have maybe one more?
One more?
Yeah. And then that should be good.
Next time I'm bringing you like 175 of these things. And you can just like dress up the whole box, Next on Leonhart's video, how to put tamper-proof
stickers on. Yeah. All right. And then this is going right here. All right. So now there's no way.
Fancy dancy pics. Paparazzi gets pictures.
Oh, that looks terrible, but I'm sorry, everybody. But I got to be sure that this is completely sealed. What's it called? Do you think we should put one right there? No, I think that's pretty good. All right. Well, do you have anything last you want to say before we got to get going?
If I've got a little bit of time, I wanted to talk about the acrylic box.
We have like less than a minute, actually. So let's showcase, actually, because I think it's pretty cool.
This is the new Ultra Pro cash box. For those of you that have a bunch of high-end boxes or even newer boxes that you want to protect well, these will be coming out hopefully later this month.
That's pretty cool.
Yep, we partnered with Ultra Pro. We've co-branded and created this box. It's a magnetic box made for Pokemon booster boxes in particular.
Awesome.
So
and it's your own.
Yeah.
Hey, look, there's the logo at the bottom.
There's the logo.
That's
so yeah,
awesome.
you can order them on collectorscash.com. If that's something you want to get, you can pre-order them now.
Awesome. I appreciate it.
Yes.
I appreciate the time as always. Thank you so much for
you,
being
Lee.
here. Sorry, I was nervous this entire time, but I appreciate it as always.
Love the box.
Yep, and there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks again, Collector's Cash, and thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for everything you do.
Definitely.
Yep.